Things to do and see in New York. New York City, the city that never sleeps, and an iconic American destination. The Big Apple has been, and still is, a mecca for tourists and travelers from all over the world, because it has something to offer everyone. If you're a first-time visitor, it may be difficult to decide what to do in New York. In today's video, we're going to cover 10 things to do and see in New York. Hey everybody, welcome to Itchy Feet Travel. Without further ado, let's get into it. Lady Liberty and Ellis Island. The Statue of Liberty is the country's most recognizable landmark, a beacon of hope for millions of immigrants making their way to Ellis Island. Tourists can visit both attractions by taking the National Park Service Ferry, which departs from Battery Park and runs continuous loops throughout the day. There are numerous ways to view the statue from the harbor. Visit the Statue of Liberty Museum and climb the pedestal for spectacular views. From there, take the ferry to Ellis Island to visit the Immigration Museum and learn more about America's Gateway. The museum is a work of art that was once the main processing center and hospital from 1892 to 1954. Check out the extensive educational signs, statues, and historic markers in the museum at the base of the statue. Times Square. With its neon lights and billboards, Times Square is the liveliest area in the city. There are attractions and things to do in and around Times Square for weeks. Locals sometimes refer to it as the crossroads of the world. A visit to Times Square is totally unmissable as a visitor to New York. If you only have time for a brief visit, it's a sight you must see. The energy that you'll feel and the larger-than-life experience is well worth it. The pedestrian areas are teeming with artists, performers, and tourists taking in the city's echoes and the enticing smells wafting from the food trucks that line the streets. A visit to the neighborhood would not be complete without a meal at Sardi's restaurant and a show in the world-famous Theater District. Times Square is big, bright, and unforgettable. Brooklyn Bridge. The iconic Brooklyn Bridge is a sight to behold, which spans across the East River, connecting the boroughs of Brooklyn and Manhattan. Being the world's first steel wire suspension bridge, it was called a daring act of engineering by the New York Times in 1983, 100 years after it had been completed. Walking the Brooklyn Bridge is a simple, enjoyable adventure and is one of the best things to do in New York City. It's fun, it's free, and the perfect way to enjoy the breathtaking skyline and river views. The walk is 1.3 miles each way. If the weather is pleasant, why not start from the Brooklyn side of the bridge as the sun sets and watch the Manhattan skyline come to life, one building at a time. Summit 1 Vanderbilt Observation. The Summit at 1 Vanderbilt is a new observation deck in New York. The structure, which stands 1,400 feet tall, was completed in 2020. The observation deck welcomed its first visitors in October 2021. The journey to the top will be memorable, as you will ascend in a fully glazed elevator amply named Ascent. From floors 57 and 58, you can enjoy the view of Midtown. From the summit, you can see the nearby Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, and even Central Park. Early morning and early afternoon are the best times to visit Summit 1 Vanderbilt. That's when you get the best views from the glass elevators and the levitation glass boxes that protrude from the building. Metropolitan Museum of Art. The Metropolitan Museum of Art stands out among the many fascinating and historically significant museums in New York. It is the largest art museum in the United States and one of the world's most visited museums. Over 2 million works are in the permanent collection alone. Its halls are so packed with art and culture that you could spend an entire day there and still not see it all. The museum houses extensive collections of musical instruments, costumes, and accessories, as well as antique weapons and armor from all over the world. The Met's galleries permanently house a large number of period rooms, ranging from first-century Rome to modern and contemporary art. Central Park. Although it appears on a map as a small patch of green within the grid of Manhattan streets, Central Park is a vast space with enough sights and activities to keep you busy for days, if not weeks. The park has a variety of attractions, including impressive architecture and peaceful gardens, as well as ice skating rinks. The stunning Bethesda Fountain can be found on Bethesda Terrace, and the mall, an idyllic broad pathway, canopied by the arching limbs of centuries-old American elms, begin at the terrace. There are several peaceful places for tourists to relax, such as the formal Conservatory Garden, the Shakespeare Garden, and the famous Chess and Checkers House. If you're traveling with kids, the kids will enjoy the Central Park Zoo, which has sea lions, penguins, as well as other animals. Younger children will enjoy riding on the historic carousel. The park, which has extensive green lawns and several ponds, can also be toured by horse-drawn carriage for the ultimate romantic sightseeing experience. Little Italy. Every tourist's must-see list includes Little Italy, with its romantic old New York atmosphere and authentic pasta dishes served by the best Italian restaurants. As immigrants from Naples and Sicily flooded the area in the 1880s, the once Italian enclave stretched from Canal to Houston streets, between Lafayette and the Bowery. It's mostly concentrated in the blocks surrounding Mulberry Street, which houses some of the city's trendiest clothing stores and best bars, but what's left is still going strong. You can eat there, check out the art projects, take a historical tour, shop on the streets, and grab a beer when you want to. It's an experience you won't forget. 9/11 Memorial. The events of September 11th impacted New York more than any other city in America, in ways that are still felt today. Rather than dwelling on the tragedy of the event, the 9/11 Memorial reflects on our city's healing and growth in the aftermath. In a moving work of art called Reflecting Absence, 2 memorial pools stand in the footprint of the towers on either side of the museum. Moreover, as you walk around the memorial, you can't help but notice all the incredible new buildings that have been built to replace what was lost. One of these is the 9/11 Museum, which is a must-see if you have the time. Coney Island. New York's most iconic destination for fun, Coney Island is a neighborhood which serves the city as a seaside resort. Its amusement areas contain 50 or more rides and attractions. It's not a centrally managed amusement park like Disneyland or Six Flags. Coney Island became a symbol of America in the early 20th century and was the largest amusement area in the country at the time, famous for its technological innovations, such as electric lights and roller coasters, and this created new views on leisure and entertainment. If you have children with you, then this place is a perfect way of keeping them entertained by enjoying a fun day out. Visit Coney Island to escape the hustle and bustle of the city. Empire State Building. The Empire State Building is one of the most famous skyscrapers in the world, located in Midtown Manhattan. It was completed in 1931 and stands over 1,400 feet tall. You can take the elevator to the 86th floor observation deck, where you'll get stunning 360-degree views of New York City, as well as another observation deck on the 102nd floor. The Empire State Building is a world-famous architectural marvel, both inside and out. Featured in over 250 TV shows and movies, including King Kong, Independence Day, and Sleepless in Seattle, just to name a few. Don't miss the chance to explore this iconic building. So, there you have it. If you enjoyed today's content, make sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our new videos. Until next time,